Two Guys, One Gamepad, episode 20. I am Rahgel, here with Cybermerc Sig, the final one of October. Hopefully, there's no more re-recordings or anything else, but as you might have heard through TikTok or anything else that he may have posted on, Sig talked about the audio issues that we had from our last recording. But we'll move on. We'll keep going. We'll try and get this recording done.
He'll move on. I'm salty.
I don't blame you.
I'm so salty about this. Well, that was 2.5 hours.
It happens. It happens. With all the great podcasts at the beginning, it happens. I mean, Joe Rogan didn't go off at the very beginning that well.
Not a great example. I think he did. He had a notoriety.
I know, right?
Try someone else. You know, the guy from UFC and Fear Factor. Not him. The comedian, not him either. Whatever. Fucker.
No, it's our comparison.
That's a terrible comparison. I don't want to be compared to that.
Two Guys, One Gamepad experience.
They get more views because it's going to be misinterpreted for something completely else. And we'll have to create an OnlyFans and be like, look, it's really not for that. I promise you. It's
just do all feet pics.
Hey, if you're going to pay, I will send you my feet. I got a gnarly scar on one foot now. Real sexy. It's all purple. Yeah.
Nasty ass hobbit feet, probably.
No.
Yeah, I don't like. You had to think about it.
Well, I was like, I had to think about
hairy knuckles and everything else.
No, I was like, I don't got the hairy knuckles, that's for sure. I don't have that. That's fine. No. But I do have the roughness where like the feet are just rough. So I was like, ooh. It does look like I've been on a perilous journey that took 3 long ass books.
Yeah,
that I could have just flown via Griffin too.
Fucking eagle claws.
So, my nails are clipped.
Uh-huh.
I get comments all the time on my feet where I wear sandals and I don't know how to respond as it's just weird.
Fucking weird ass people in Kansas to look at your feet, compliment them. I've never had my toes complimented.
Dude, but before we get in zombie apocalypse, no, seriously. I used to work I used to work at AT&T a few years back, and there was a Norwegian person. She's like twice my age. Not quite twice, but yeah, she was like in her late 40s. And every time I went to a meeting, I was always in shorts and my flip-flops because I don't have to go to work right away, so I'm going to wear my flip-flops and shorts no matter what the weather was. And every time, oh yeah, you have some sexy feet. I like your feet. It's like, you need to stop. You are my mom's age. Cut this shit out.
Be a little weirdo.
And that led to a couple times in the summer when I would like come in with my wife and my kid at the time, and I'd get new phones or whatever, or even if it was just me getting new equipment, new setup for my wife and I. That same person will see me, and there'll be customers around, mostly female customers. Like, don't you like his feet? His feet great. Look at them. Even clips his nails. Oh, those are some gorgeous feet. I was like, this is weird.
He's got some severe foot fetish. Look at your feet.
Fucking weird. And since then, I think I get probably once a week. Somebody's always like, your feet are really well kept. I was like, you need to stop staring at my feet. I kind of want to be like, hey, lady, dick right here, not my feet. Look up like 3 feet. It's fine. But my eyes are up here, crotch is right here. Why the feet? What's going on there? Be normal.
I say those all the time. Never had one person, I don't think, ever say anything about my feet. They're fucking weird, Manhattan. Meth capital, fucking foot fetish, whatever. Weird fucking people.
The weirder part is just that the fact that it's not people my own age. It's like, early 40s to late 40s, early 50s. I'm just like,
jump on it, man. Take care. There's obviously a.
Well, yeah. Now I gotta get on like feetfinder.com and just start taking pictures.
Oh yeah, just for the Kansas area, because apparently that's all they're fucking into.
Yeah, really. Screw farming.
Yeah.
Just sell your feet. And there's people on there. I know people who sell their feet, and they're like, yeah, they'll pay for your pedicures. They'll pay for it to get polished and get a clear coat and get a massage. All you do is take pictures. Like, not against that. Not against it.
You
Still
wouldn't be.
weird. Weird as fuck though to be like, hey babe, I'll be right back. Hey, where are you going? John just paid for a pedicure, so I'm gonna go get a pedicure for John. Who the fuck is John? I don't know.
You watch you guys are like, what? This motherfucker's got a guy's paying for his feet.
But he's paying me six hundred
What
dollars
the
for my
fuck?
right foot. I need
I mean,
hey,
whatever.
I need you to just put my foot near your mouth. We're not gonna take a picture or anything. Just put it near your mouth. There we go. 12K. We got a new car. This is not the way I thought we'd kick off this episode.
Mom, Dad, how'd you get that? We don't want to talk about it right now.
Got no shame in my life. I'd wait till they're older to understand. Not
I would
when they're
hope
fucking
so.
5 and 3. Look, your dad sells feet pictures. Don't tell your classmates, please. Let's not go down this avenue.
Career day. What's your dad do? He shows his feet on the internet.
To be fair, he knows I stream, I make content, I have a podcast, I have my business, and then I do DoorDash. So she has no fucking idea what I do. She's just
But nowhere in there is there anywhere included about feet.
not yet.
So catch on to that real quick.
Not yet. I'm gonna expand my portfolio. Stay tuned. Link may be in the description at some point. Who knows? Don't worry, I'll get Rahgel too.
My fucking feet up there.
We'll have three. We'll have 3 different ones. It'll be my independent one, his independent one, and then we'll randomly meet up throughout the year, 2-3 times, and we'll just take a ton of just our feet right by each other on the lake shore, or at a zoo, or in sandals, and that's it. And we'll sell them as 2 guys, 1 gamepad. Feet pics.
I don't even know what to fucking say right now. Okay.
Too far?
So,
Too far?
no, I mean, I'm kind of excited.
I mean, what's not to be excited about? Anyways, let's get back onto the real subject of today. Or this
Our main
episode.
fucking topic.
It includes feet. If your feet don't work, you can't survive. Okay?
True.
So it's a better segue than fucking meth the first time.
No, that worked.
It did.
That worked. Meth worked.
It did. The segue. I've never done meth. He may have. I mean, he is from Missouri, so
No.
that's
Really?
That's like cornflakes for them.
Again, you got Junction City just down the road from you, so
You got the whole fucking state of Missouri,
you're closer to Missouri than I am.
and yet you still have the whole state of Missouri pumping through those veins.
That doesn't mean meth is in there.
That probably does. Maybe even
No.
nuclear radiation too. Why do you think you're bald and short?
Genetics.
No. A mutation in your genetics. Yeah.
You're a mutant.
That's beside the point. At least I own it.
So with that, do you think a nuclear blast would cause the zombie apocalypse or something airborne? See, I'll segue the shit out of this.
I think Missouri's gonna be the cause of it. if we go
Yeah.
anywhere.
If it's anybody, it's going to be Arkansas. The severe inbreeding that happens down there is going to cause it.
They would never catch on.
Or
to it.
Alabama.
They would never. Neither one of those would ever catch on to it because they'd be like, "Oh, he's a fast runner. Let's get him in the roll tide program. It's fine. No, he could be a Razorback. It's okay." Bro, he's missing his calf muscle. Yeah, but he's running a 40 really quick. He's eating your linebacker. Ah, it's fine. We didn't need that linebacker. He was failing school. What? Yeah, his cousin failed
School
him.
spirit.
His cousin failed him. Sister wouldn't sleep with the cousin. It's his whole ordeal. What is going on here?
Well, yeah.
Roll Tide. Razorback.
That's where it starts.
I'm not even into sports, but I can shit on everyone.
So it's kind of impressed you knew the You knew the teams on that one, and you knew Alabama's Roll Tide.
I used to be into sports back in high school. Yeah. Yes. Knowledge sucked. I didn't think they changed the team in umpteen years of not being in high school.
Yeah.
Huh?
No.
I mean,
It doesn't change.
They just changed the Rams to LA Rams, so I just had to learn that like a couple years ago. It's fine.
Well, they've gone back and forth quite a while.
They have a lot. They're a horror. A horror. But no, this episode is gonna be about zombie apocalypse.
Maybe.
At one way or another, we're gonna get there. But to be up front, there's going to be, because I felt like this should have been said. I'm kind of glad we didn't get the recording out. There might be points of subject matter that makes you feel a little uncomfortable or be like, oh my god, why did they say that? But zombie apocalypse, it's not real. It's not happening.
Yeah.
And even then, this is all theoretical based off of our experiences, both in the service plus our experience of, watching zombie movies, TV shows, and playing video games of zombies. So it's just some physical experience to virtual experience. Take with a grain of salt. Don't get butthurt.
Don't forget your 2 handbooks that you live and die by.
I actually have 4, by the way.
You have 4?
Mm-hmm. The other 2 are in my closet. I just don't have room on my bookshelf because it's filled with liquor bottles, Funko Pops, and I have like one little cubicle set for books, and they didn't fit. So, say la vie, I guess. I don't know.
So you can go off of Sig's style of learning. He reads. I watch movies.
I used to read.
I go by action. I don't go by words.
I'm a hands-on experience type of guy. And again, because it's not fucking legal to go test this theory out.
It's only illegal till you get caught.
I think I would get caught if I'm digging in my front yard a 10-foot wide moat that's 15 feet deep, and then with booby traps outside of that. Like, what the fuck are you doing? You're laying traps inside the road. Hey, don't fucking come in my property. Bro, it's a road. Don't come in my property.
You're within your right. As long as you get it zoned, you're good.
You don't need zoning permissions.
You call before you dig.
You don't need zoning permissions during a zombie apocalypse.
Oh, yeah. Well, tell them about before that to test out your theories.
No, because if I'm going to test my theories out, I'm going to test them out like the real goddamn zombie apocalypse, which means no rules.
It was so starting now. Sig is on the zombie apocalypse theory. Check out weekly for our shorts.
Watch
6 days in, and he's only 3 foot deep on a 5x5 hole. This is bullshit. I can't dig a fucking hole. The shovel's not big enough. My back hurts. Fuck this. I'm going inside.
I work smart, not harder. I'm gonna go get a backhoe and just dig it. Be done in a day. It's fine. I just like to explain to my landlord later. Hey, you're missing a huge part of your yard now.
What happened?
Well, you have no neighbors on 3 sides. I don't really understand what happened. I was just digging a hole. It collapsed. The whole ordeal. I didn't do it. So, yeah. But hey, you got a moat now, so that should boost the
property value is going way up now.
There's booby traps. I don't know where they are anymore. Don't worry. Just stay on the paved path. Don't get off the paved.
So, and what style of zombies do you think would be practical? I mean, all the movies, there's a few different kinds. I know we did talk about in the last recording that won't air the different styles, but we have your typicals of your runners, your walkers, and your stalkers. You can call the slow moving ones, I guess. I don't know the technical term from your books and shit, but your mythical creature stuff that you were talking about.
Are we doing a mythical creature episode?
I don't know what you're doing. I
got books on those too.
Calm down, D&D. We're not going that deep.
With
What?
D&D? I think we could do like a whole year's episode of just D&D, like playing a session of D&D.
I've never played it.
Me neither, actually, surprisingly.
Never have.
Always want to. Never found a group that was dedicated enough to consistently do it. They only want to do like one or two runs and call it a session. I was like, no fun. These are supposed to be like 6 month saga sessions where you're going every Monday night, playing for 3 to 4 hours. Your character may get killed, but you still have to go because maybe somebody else brings you back from the dead. It's a whole ordeal.
Well, I guess it's. I mean, I know it gets pretty in depth, but like I said, I've never played it. I know my kids have like a starter set of it, but we never played it. So it's hard to. I don't know. It's like a lot of commitment and time.
It is. And as a dad, I don't have that anymore.
No.
And when my kids get older, I can make them go do these things with me.
Yeah.
Anyways, not talking about that. Zombies. Um,
We're trying.
This is all wrong.
Me? Bullshit. That's not me. No.
Hey, listen. Okay? Listen, Linda. I have ADHD. You are distracting me with one-off quips like other mythical creatures. You knew that was going to go down a fucking rabbit hole. You knew there's a chance that stupid fucking little quips like that are going to make me go on a tangent. Your fault. You are the adultier adult. You are the older person. You are to be respectful of the mental issues.
We'd have been done already if somebody would have hit record.
I hit record. This audio track didn't go through.
The audio would have worked.
I had the recording. It's just
Not going out.
It's you, me. But anyways, I think so. There's two. World War Z would be the type of zombies I would ideally prefer. They have your runners, your runners slash chasers, the average ones that just kind of walk and stalk you slowly. They have the crawlers. They have the ones that just kind of like drag behind very slow. But if it was like video game style and I could like respawn, so I couldn't die indefinitely. Left 4 Dead.
Okay.
But again, I want the respawn ability because I would not last more than like a minute in that world.
Well, no, if you knew you had the respawn ability, you'd be like, okay, watch this shit.
Oh, get him back here. It's like Call of Duty, right? I can snipe with a shotgun. No, I know I'm 300 meters away, but can I snipe with a shotgun?
You had to fucking figure out how to put Call of Duty in the fucking.
There's zombies in Call of Duty too. I just don't want those because those are like, here's a zombie. Like they're fucking magical out of nowhere, and you're like, I don't have a strategy for this. Oh great, run! The only plus side is most of those in like the first 5 rounds you can just punch them and they die. So
Yes.
maybe those. They don't seem to be very attackish.
No, they're more of just like figure your shit out.
To like round 10, then they're like, okay, we're gonna kill you now. It's like, okay.
So I still go with like 28 Days Later is like probably the scariest style of like fast as shit, crackhead, chase you down.
I'll just go to Junction City for that.
Chew on your face, yeah.
Or Florida.
Chew on your face and figure that shit out. It's like those are ones like I don't want to fuck with.
But that's why I don't want them though. But at the same time,
I know, but I would.
But at the same time, they're not. Again, that's all mythical shit. But they're not practically possible. That makes sense.
Yeah, we can't bring in practical when talking about zombies because none of this shit's practical.
But that's the thing. Like if you watch World War Z and you see how zombies came about, okay, that's probably the most solid foundation of how a zombie apocalypse could happen. Walking Dead is kind of feasible, but it gets lost really quick and gets carried away. And the fact that like, oh, and this thing mutated instantly like this, or you can't just shoot the head off because the headshot no longer works on this type of
I mean, Return of the Living Dead has a very feasible one too. Of the military started it. Of they have a fucker stuck in a gigantic drum,
Yeah, I mean,
and he gets out. So I mean, military testing, government testing.
there was a oh man, what's the other one? It's military. It's a military-based movie where they. It's a TV show where they go to the Middle East to rescue a POW, and when they go down into the um, unmarked bunker, basically they kill off people, and then they realize that the POW that they went to go save was eating away and killing the captors, whatever. I can't think if it's a movie or a video game plot, honestly, at this point. It
I
all
think I
just
ever
gets
heard of
blurred.
that.
All gets blurred together. I want to say it's a movie. I want to say my wife and I just watched it or something. I'm not even gonna attempt to Google that. I'm not doing that this episode. Google and I are not talking today. Not very helpful.
I can't think of anything like that that's anywhere.
But like, but I thought that one was feasible because the guy that got captured and became the POW, prisoner of war. For those of you who have no fucking idea what POW means, somehow. The POW, like they found backstory or whatever. He was a black ops type guy. He found something in the Middle East he wasn't supposed to be messing with. He messed with it clearly, and it had some type of chemical reaction to him, and he just slowly transformed. And then yeah,
Hmm.
and he affected the people who captured him. They ended up killing everybody down there, but they didn't realize that two of the soldiers, I believe Navy SEALs, uh, got scratched a bit as well in the process, and they were coming back. And by the time they realized it, these people had already like made out or had sex with their significant others. They bled on other people during war or whatever. Like basically, the way everything infections work, you know, intercourse, blood, or fluids of some sort.
Mhm.
They already did it, and it was at about 20, 30 people, and that just got multiplied so quickly within a month's time.
No, I didn't know
And this is not a movie. Dibs on all copyright.
it. So I don't, have you seen a lot of zombie movies?
Yeah,
Okay, what is your favorite zombie movie?
they're not horror movies. They're
No,
not
it's not.
scary.
No, they're not.
Uh,
What is your favorite one?
oh man, Day of the Dead's really good. World War Z. World War Z tends to hold a special place in my heart, just purely for the fact like the realism of it, and the fact
Mhm.
that it's the most practical. Going, okay, this is how it would happen. This is how society would behave. This is how people would react. This is how the military would handle it. This is how everything would be interfered, and this is just basically how the world as a whole would transform.
Yeah.
So, to me, World War Z purely for that. But I mean, I don't think I met a or watched a zombie movie I didn't like. Because most of them, I'm like, oh, this is good. Even the really cheesy ones, this is so bad. But it got my attention. Let's go.
So I mean, going like Return of the Living Dead is probably one of, or Night of the Living Dead is probably one of my favorites, just
Good
because
one.
of the classic of it. Um, Zombieland, hands down, is probably it's probably my favorite. I
That
like
is a
that one a
good one.
lot. It's I mean, it breaks down the rules and just the style of how they do everything.
Well, it's very
Like
tropey.
yes, but like the way that they live their life, as they're living in the zombie apocalypse, doing whatever they want, kind of doing their thing, and no hints of like military or like that. They're kind of just them doing their own thing in the movie and just focusing just on that
Yeah.
and not in the entire world. Just kind of you're living in their own
Yeah.
little bubble
And that's also
type thing.
more of like a it just happened within the last year or whatever. Whereas like World War Z, okay, they showed you the backstory. Here we are, 5 years, 10 years down the road type deal. So end of the spectrum, two different ones. Zombieland's amazing. I love that.
And then another one
I love
that's
that one.
up there with Zombieland is Range 15,
Yep.
which I love. And that's for a lot of people that don't know, that's a military-made, fan-funded film. That's not a big production by any means.
What military?
It's
You mean we don't? I won't go there. It's fine. I got jokes for Dave about.
oh, that's a and that movie is a lot of people can't get through it because of how corny it is, how slapstick it is. Just
Well, that's like
it's
yeah.
rough at times, but you have to understand the people that are in it as well
That's
and
like,
enjoy it for that.
but the opposite can also be said very true about some big box name zombie movies or really anything that goes like that mythical fantasy type. Is if you pump too much money into it, it gets so diluted and it's overdone, and you're just like, this is stupid. This makes no sense. The story's not there. They focus more on cosmetics than anything else, so you have no real storyline at all. And then you have the very overly, or sorry, super underfunded movies that are like, hey, we're just gonna go on a budget, so you're gonna get okay acting and okay uh, uh, costume design and makeup. But everything like in between is the sweet spot of you just watch all of it because it's really good. Just and it's overly produced by Hollywood specifically tends to be a crap shot. Zombieland, I don't think had a massive budget for the first one, and it was supposed to
No,
just kind of be a one off joke-ish type thing of whatever. No one's gonna see this shit, and now it's a fucking massive box
yes,
office.
amazing. Yes, the second one was okay.
I like the second one. It's not as good as the first one, but I like
No,
the
it's
second
not.
one.
But like, I mean, Range 15 had some not big name, but if you know a lot of horror movies, you know of Danny Trejo, who was Machete.
How do you not know who Danny Trejo is? Out
You'd be
horror
surprised.
movies.
From Dusk Till Dawn. Um, William Shatner was in it. Who else? There's plenty of UFC fighters.
That's a big name though. William Shatner is not like he's a B tier. No, that's like a high end. Used to be high end celebrity. So he's fucking Kurt.
Yeah, but I don't know how many Trekkies listen to our show right now. I
Comment
don't
down
know.
below. Let us know. Star
Type
Trek.
one if you're a
Star
Star Trek
Wars.
fan. Type two if you're a Star Wars fan.
Type 3 if you don't give a fuck. Type 4 for English. But no, I mean that's the problem though. Like I will watch any of these zombie movies. That's sadly where I get a lot of my information, not the books. Even though the books are fun to read, go back through, and then like when Zombieland came out, I remember having the book and be like, oh, they actually talk about that. Oh yeah, it's right here. Oh, they fucked up here. They lied about this information right here. This book specifically says, but it's fun. It's that's what it's meant to be. But like, if we're talking about legitimate zombie apocalypse, you're going with 28 days of later, 28 days
20
night.
days later. Yeah, that style. Of
He
like,
wants he wants the crackheads.
shit hits the fan and you got fuckers that are insanely fast and want to eat your head.
He got crackheads.
Mm-hmm.
Who doesn't
Exactly.
love a good crackhead? So stupid.
So you wake up tomorrow morning and obviously this is how it always happens is you turn on the news and oh, Florida man
Jokes on
eats
you.
eats an
That's all
entire
happens.
club.
If it's not on social media, I ain't gonna see it. Even then, probably still won't see it.
Well, even then, I mean, yes, it would be all over Facebook and Instagram. There'd be idiots with TikTok trying to do dances or whatever with a zombie to make it look like, oh, look what I did. Bitch is dead now. But she's able to post it before she turned into a zombie.
Here we have a wild zombie. I'm gonna go touch it. All right, Tiki Taki, watch for the world. Hey, do something. Hey, you. Hey. Ah! I lost my
Hey,
arm.
baby, what the fuck?
That bloke is strong.
It's so angry.
Why are you so angry there? Hey you, Mr. Zombie, why you angry? Be angry, be happy. Fish said be happy.
I know we talked about. You think it comes from the coast and moves inland?
I think that's gonna be the only way. Without a
Yeah.
nuclear fallout or nuclear uh, uh, inclusion of any site, it has to come from the coast. And like Fukushima, is that the plant in Japan? That's not weird. I believe it's the plant in Japan that went into the ocean. Like it collapsed due to an earthquake, and there's massive radiation off the coast. Like that, I could see becoming a thing and having radiation affect, maybe Japan and China type thing, or Korea, and then they're flying over here, bring it to us, or that radiation just stay in the ocean and blowing up on shore, getting to fish, and fish are now radioactive, and somebody eats fish. Not me. Somebody eats fish
Oh,
and
fuck
gets
that.
eats fish, and now they have inside of them kind of like mercury poison. Like I think it's gonna be a whole Dixie chain of events, and by the time we get to the zombie side of it, we will have known already what caused it, but we're not going to know that's what caused it. Like
This may
ignorant.
sound very familiar for something 3 years ago that happened over in Japan and
You leave the
then went
bats
across the
alone.
entire.
It was China,
Yeah,
Japan.
whatever.
There's a
It
difference. We're
was. I
allies with
guess
Japan.
there's a difference. There is a difference. But when the gingivitis went worldwide,
Fucking gingivitis. My dentist didn't protect me against it. I want my dental plan back.
Dr. Ouchie told you exactly what you needed to do, and nobody listened.
Even with 3, even tripling up, it didn't help. Almost like it got through, like on a microscopic level.
Because I think it's more of a docile Midwest thing. I think it's where it starts. I
Really?
think it. Oh yeah, I think it does. I think it starts somewhere small town, Midwest, gets planted by somebody, whatever, some way, and then becomes something's planted somewhere. I'm going like Night of the Living Dead style. Some dipshit from military base gets something.
All right. Well, now this is already more believable because he
Some
said some dipshit from military.
some private is left in charge of it. Hey, watch this, private.
Hold my
Bring it
beer.
there. Yeah. Okay, don't fall asleep. Don't touch it. Don't look into it. It says do not touch. It says don't open. What does
I'm gonna
every
touch it.
dipshit private do? I'm going to touch it. I'm going to take a picture with it. I'm going to put my dick on it. And then something happens there.
I'm gonna go to
That
strip
private's
club.
now dead. Yep.
Bring my now wife to the box. I want to have sex on it.
Yes. That's the perfect start to how this movie starts for the Midwest zombie apocalypse.
That means it would have to happen in Kansas, though.
I was going to tell you about, by the way,
I
sorry
know.
for your loss. Because, I mean, you've got Leavenworth, you've got Riley.
You also have McConnell.
Yes. So, yeah, I mean, we have, yeah, we don't. So, no, it's you.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
can have it.
Or Nebraska, I guess.
Yeah, but that's an Air Force base. Those guys don't know what to do. They'll just leave it. They won't touch it.
I know.
They don't do anything.
We actually listen.
You're just not there.
We're there, just
That's
doing
not.
other stuff.
Yeah.
It's like
You're
my
in-
printer. It's there, but
You're in your hotel style barracks and everything else.
hey,
So it'll be
maybe if they had room service, come check in on us out there. We wouldn't have to go back to our hotel.
like they don't. So here, I will put it on the Big Red One to fuck this up and start it because those guys are fucking idiots. So leave it to the.
I can't even argue with that because I've dealt with the big red one so
Mhm.
much.
Oh
I
yes.
dealt with so many E1s, E2s, and even E3s where I'm like, how in the living fuck's sake are you alive?
Are you alive?
How like how did your mama not just
It doesn't get any better the higher rank they get.
you should have been swallowed is all I'm saying. Your mom failed you.
That or it comes straight on the mattress, one of the two.
Yeah. Maybe
So I give it to that
of rock hard tube sock.
So some idiot private gets the assignment to watch this this drum barrel of God knows how many, be it 1 to 10, of course.
You know what actually would happen? Not only would that happen, they would be given like a hey, we're gonna place this here, okay? You just need to make sure nobody else touches it. But because you're gonna be on CQ duty for the next 10 hours, here's a TV, a PlayStation, unlimited access to all the video games. There's a toilet, everything you need. They could have everything they fucking need, and they would still go touch the damn box.
Mm-hmm. They'd be sitting there just playing and kind of like, that's over there. Game's here. Nope, that's over there. I'm gonna go touch it.
I got my controller in my hand. That box is 20 feet away, but I don't know what's in the box. I know what I'm playing. That says don't touch. Mom didn't raise no idiot.
Mm-hmm.
No, your mom
Well,
didn't
go
raise an
touch
idiot.
So with that happening, then they, whatever happens, they get bit, whatever, go home to the barracks or to their, off base house where their stripper wife is there. And that happens. She gets bit. Strip club goes. Now there's another movie like this too of zombie strippers. It's a whole other movie. You haven't seen it? Check it out.
Because that woman, all she would have to do is ride the pole once. Another woman had to ride the pole, and there we go. It's just all being passed.
Just if you haven't seen the movie Zombie Strippers, that's exactly how some things go. Things get very slimy. So,
ew.
The whole
in the most moisturous way. Ew. That's
stressful. It looks like tree sap on a stick.
Sticky. Like molasses.
And in small town Kansas, wherever we're at, that's gonna spread quicker than shit. And that's how it starts.
That's the thing though, is it wouldn't spread quicker than shit like if it was on the coast. That would be the downside, is the fact that, especially if it was military, the military it would almost infest and fester within the military. And this shit would happen during like PCS season when everybody's like fucking traveling to their new bases and at post, and that group would be dumb, as they are, and they would all get infected. They would all then PCS out, and they would just spread like fucking wildfire. Because realistically, one of two methods, or I guess one of three, the main method of being transformed into a zombie is you have to die, which means if that's the case, it would be a very slow process. Again, military would still somehow be involved, because it would either be a private that accidentally, got shot in the line of battle, or said, "Hey, hold my beer," and jumped off a roof and didn't survive, or worst case, become another statistic, sadly. But if it spread via or activated via death, it'd be very slow, and the military would be the most opportune way for it to spread under the radar for so long, where virtually almost everybody would be infected. And really, you're just biding your time to see if you had any liquid extraction elements involved with those people. Mm-hmm. Did you slide down that pole? Did you drink from the water fountain? Did you use the same toy? You sleep with the same person? Like, just so much. That would be for gnarly zombie apocalypse, because nobody would know who's truly infected, and the fact of still being infected by the undead via scratching and biting. Mm-hmm. So are you double infected? And you just say, well, now I'm really infected, kill me, or say, no, I got the booster shot, I'm good.
So it happens in your area at that point, and you're not going to have really any idea. You're going to have reports somewhere, news, social media, whatever, of some virus is happening.
Kansas.
No, but you're going to have something of local saying, oh, there's a virus or something going around, something's going on, whatever. And you're going to catch on like, okay, somebody's eating other people. All these random people are starting, they're disappearing, shit like that. Eventually you're going to catch on.
somebody's gonna be eating somebody else, and we're gonna look into three things. One, are they from Florida and they're just up here to party? No. Okay. Okay. Cool. Cool. Topeka, Junction City, out west. No. Okay. Okay. It's a virus. Something's going on. What the fuck?
So you have it, and at that point, do you start preparing for it, or do you just say, okay, it's one of those things, I'm just going to monitor it?
Well, that's where you come into the fine line though, because if a local station of any type reports on it, you would have to think that the federal would be involved and likely wall off the state or make it virtually impossible to leave the state, so where they can quarantine that area and say, look, Kansas, just you're not going. So all truckers have to go north or south in order to transport wherever they're carrying. But I think they would cut Kansas off, and at that point, yeah, it'd be a full on prepper style, and try and sneak out of the state and probably go to Florida. That's where my mother in law's at, so probably go to Florida.
Okay, so run into the scenario of, okay, it's all overrun at this point. You have nothing but shit going down left and right. It's pretty much mass chaos at that point. So you've prepped enough to where you have an escape or a route of where you're going or an idea where you're going. You say you're going to Florida.
I dug a hole the whole way.
You dug a hole. Been digging this hole since you were 10.
My
And
little,
it's
my little spade in me. It's my gardening spade.
so what is your basic loadout for getting to where you're going? Because keep in mind you have your kids with you and your wife and your 9 cats.
2 cats and a dog. And all those fish. They get left behind.
Fuck the fish.
Oh man. From a realistic standpoint, and not like I can have anything I want. Realistic standpoint, like what I have. I mean I do have crossbows. I think I would head down to the shop and get a couple small handguns because I know my wife can shoot both handguns and crossbows with no issues, and definitely pick up a shotgun of some sort. Um, but crossbows would be the main point or main weaponry because it's reusable ammo. And then also, I have fucking walnut trees in my backyard, so taking a lot of those, using that for ammunition to get out. But I think more importantly, though, it would be more about like food and water. And
Okay.
even then, does this infect animals? Is this virus can like if a farmer has it and is calving a cow, is he gonna spread it to the cow? Because he's up in that cow. It's
I mean, we'll stick with
calving.
just strictly people at this point. We won't go
And
full.
I would load up full animal world. I would load up.
Mosquito zombies and shit like that.
God, we'd be so dead, especially here in the Midwest.
Oh yeah.
I would load up on fresh water and food, mostly
Hmm.
canned food, and get the few weapons and literally just book it down to Florida and attempt to steal a cruise ship that I don't know how to drive. Maybe kidnap a cruise ship director who can drive it and or captain, have him drive us out. He's safe too.
Yes.
It's a win-win for him. He just has to put up with my stupid ass.
I think with the way that things would go is being the mass chaos. If we were trying to get out of Kansas, I mean, your interstates, all that shit's going to be shut down. Trying to get anywhere for a long time is going to be extremely difficult. So you're
Well,
going to be probably held up for.
I don't think it would be though, because the thing is there's a lot of unmarked back roads here in Kansas because we are the Midwest,
But
where
they all lead to a main road to get out.
not necessarily. You
To get
can
out. To get out of the main area.
no, I can get okay. So I'm not technically in the main area.
Mhm.
I don't have a highway or anything that goes through my city.
Yeah.
You have to hop off. I could get down to Wichita, or I could technically get down to Oklahoma, all on back roads and never touch the interstate, the highway, the freeway. I don't ever touch any of that because there are
Yeah.
dirt roads and unmarked roads that have been used for even like old school farmers that no longer use them, or ATVs or mudding, and they're there. So it's physically possible for me to get from Manhattan down into Oklahoma with no issue. I think I could honestly even get over to Missouri with back roads because, well, Missouri's only like 2 hours away, so it's not hard. So back roads connecting to back roads. I think the only problem is so many back roads lead close to highways, freeways, interstates, and people would have to be looking out for that. And now that we have drones that can be set on a perimeter route, you would be found, but it's just a matter of how quickly can you get out of the area before the inevitable response of military or police or federal government, whoever steps in to
Now, if you get
track you down.
out that far into more of a docile area on the back roads,
From where I'm at now,
something.
I could do it.
But I'm saying if something happens,
Oh, you're fucked.
you know, you flat tire, obviously you have a spare. Um,
And I have
I'm,
MREs in my car, so
and yeah. But I mean, eventually you have to leave that car because you
Mhm.
cannot hold up in a car, with shit like that going on.
Nope.
Um,
You better pray and hope to God you have gas.
saying
Pulsating
and
gas.
gas is the next thing too. Because trying to stop and get gas, good fucking luck.
Because I'm sure they would have all that shit monitored and all the
Monitored, or
shut down
it's
if
going
it
to
was
be a
on
mass
this.
chaos trying to get it, or it's shut down. Because we all know how toilet paper went 3 years ago. Everybody's worried about wiping their
Well,
ass and anything else.
we just had a just what this year, last year, there was just a whole issue with gas and people filling up trash bags and
Oh
tubs
yes,
and plasticware,
and that's what I'm saying is like
styrofoam
if anything
containers.
close to this happens, there's no way it's just gonna get crazier than even people
Yeah,
trying to fill up plastic bags full of gas or hoard toilet paper.
yeah.
It's gonna be a mad dash trying to just get anywhere.
And that's why like I personally think I would not focus too heavily upon like I said, I legitimately do have MREs. I have several cases I can just load up and go, and we just need water to activate most of them if we want that feature. So that's not a problem. I keep a box of MREs in both my cars just in case, God forbid, something happens when we're traveling 2 hours, 3 hours, or even 22 hours to go see my mother in law. If something happens, because I like to take back roads occasionally, we have food, we're okay. Like, I'm the super over prepared guy for short trips because, prepare for the worst, hope for the best. Even though likelihood of anything happens slim. Um, but I think I would be more focused on just getting the fuck out of Dodge really quick and avoiding Dodge City. Not definitely
See,
not any LS.
I think I'm a little bit opposite as I wait and I assess what's going on, and I try to wait out the mass chaos of idiots and let the idiots get cleaned out first,
But
and then figure out.
keep in mind though, if it's not if it's not like a stay-at-home order or a restriction of consumers' goods, and it's just a matter of like getting out, you're gonna have a lot of people, especially nowadays with all the shit we've gone through, especially in the last 3-4 years alone. You're gonna have people who are just like, I'm gonna wait this out. It's not real. This isn't really happening. It's fine. This is all just bullshit, hysteria type thing. And they're gonna wait out even a week minimum, and they're gonna start saying, "Oh shit, this is real." And now you're gonna be in the spot of, we know how fast the military can mobilize if needed for a legitimate serious thing, and you have to.
Can they?
Yeah, they can. I can say from watching missions, I've seen them just out of nowhere.
But I mean, you're looking at. Yeah, yes, they can. Yes, mobilization can happen fast.
Because keep in mind, at least for me, Leavenworth, that's near the border of Kansas.
Yeah.
Big Red 1 is near the border of, or sorry, near the border of Missouri for Leavenworth. Big Red 1 is near the border of Nebraska. And you have McConnell, is near the border of Oklahoma, and then you have the entire West, which you're not going to travel out that way. But you have several bases in Colorado that are just within earshot of the border for Kansas. So the fact that they could easily mobilize, pull all the guard, all the reserves, and all the active really quick for that station and say, basically, here's the wall, you're not getting past. It's not like it's feasible for them to do it.
No, and I get
So
that.
I think
My
if
thing
you
is
wait
like,
more than a day or more than 3 days, you're fucked.
I think shit hits the fan. I'm not moving for a little while. My plan is to hold up as much as I can here, assess everything we can, figure out. I'm not a mad day, doomsday, D-Day prepper by any means. I don't have,
I mean, I'm not either.
you know, I don't have a case of memories in my car. I don't have, and that's not a knock on you. It's just one of those things. I get it. If I had one, I'd probably be in my car.
I was leaving the military, and legitimately, there was like there, it's just a whole out processing thing. Like, look, I got to get rid of these. We can no longer keep them here.
Hey,
I said,
thanks
yeah,
for your
put them in my
service.
room.
Here's a box of memories.
So, yeah, put a couple in my room.
High five
TMO
on the
be
way
over
out.
here. TMO transported them. That's fine.
But I think looking at that and figuring out, because I just did find out today or yesterday, there was a place in Nebraska that is, and I cannot remember the damn town, city, whatever, and that's probably for good reason because I don't want to give away my locations of where I'm going. But they have acreage, like 100 acres of bunkers that you can rent out for a year for $300. Now, I'm not saying like, oh, I'm going to call the guy and say, hey, I want to rent this because shit's going down. But they are legit bunkers, steel door bunkers that are out in the middle of fucking nowhere that you can get to.
The
And
Doomsday Bunker ones.
there might be, I don't know, but there's a shit ton of them. There's a bunch of fucking prairie dog houses.
God.
But I just found out about these.
Yeah, I did. I mean, Google just told me about them.
So my boss told me about it because he is, the guy sells trucks and heavy equipment and has a shit ton of land, and these bunkers are on that land.
Yo, they even have condos that are quote survivalist condos.
Yes.
Bunker condos, Prepper's Home, uh, Vivio Underground survival shelters, affordable luxury version.
Yes. So that's what I had just found out about.
Yeah, it's pretty cheap though. That's pretty
And
cheap to have those.
so that is where I would migrate to or attempt to get to.
Just a few hours away from me, so it only has to be a few hours away from you.
Now, I don't know how many people know about this places,
Everyone now.
but yeah, all 10 of you that listen, you know where we're going. We'll meet there. We'll do a little meet and greet as you meet us there. And we can do a podcast there as well.
Password: Sig has sexy feet.
The password is nipple.
Moist nipples.
Oh, I know somebody that's listening to this is going to hate that one.
Like I said, moist or nipples?
The first one.
Moist?
Yeah.
Why is that such a bad word?
I don't know, but it's hated.
Moist.
But I'm trying to get out of where you're at to a location like that or somewhere to fortify for whatever, because obviously shit will hit the fan fairly quickly. But like I said, I would hold up for a while. I'd let the idiots, get cleaned out and then move after that.
I just think if you wait though, you're going to be put in a situation where you're going to basically have to break out in order to survive, and you're risking your life at that point. Rather than you leave early, there's a very good chance that the probability of you truly escaping undetected and unscathed is higher than you waiting even, say, 5 days. I really think 3 days is enough time for the bases around to be like done, lock the
And I'm
area
moving,
down.
trying to move in the mass chaos is where shit tends to go bad really, really quick.
But
And
the
if the
thing,
military is involved,
but
and
mass
this is not
chaos
a knock
equals
on.
it is like we both
I mean,
served, we know what we're talking about.
but it's not like I'm not bashing military like that. But we know it's like I am not wanting to be protected or like that by military and by any means because I know how leadership is, and that's not what I want to have to deal with. And I don't want to have to try and deal with the mass chaos of people trying to go in the same direction I am. Instead, you run into a horde of zombies at that point. Good fucking luck trying to do anything because one, privates have guns. They get scared. They're shooting, and that's nothing I want to deal with.
Yeah, but they're like stormtroopers. They may hit you, but realistically, they're gonna miss and hit somebody else or hit something else.
But you know damn well that one of those bullets are going to find you.
That's fine. That's
I don't
fine.
want to fucking deal with that shit. No, and then you got mass cast of people running around screaming.
It's merely a scratch. It's fine.
Oh
It's just
shit.
a scratch.
Mm-mm.
But no, like, so okay, keep in mind because you did mention like mass hysteria,
Yeah,
basically,
and it will be.
and it would. But here's also the flip side of that. Keep in mind, I would almost bank that close to 70-80% of the people that live in any state do not know where the back roads are not familiar with the back roads, and honestly can't fucking read direction without their phone. And if you know how to read northeast, south, and west just by the sky, you could navigate out via back roads very easily, and people are not going to access them. You may get a few on like the main back roads are very heavily used and noted, but overall, most people are going to stick with like the highway, the interstate, the freeway roads. They're going to stick with paved roads that are listed on Google or Apple Maps or Waze or whatever. They're going to GPS the shit out of it to get out. They're not going to be able to, in theory, do what I could do and be like, I want to go to Nebraska to go to these survival lands right here. I know which back roads to take. I know which like 4 back roads I could take, and I could navigate that. Hey, I need to go north, not east, not west, not south. I need to go fucking dead north. I can veer northeast and northwest, and I'll still get to Nebraska. And I can also, fucking read those back road signs that are deteriorating because they don't get upkept by the state. But that plays such a huge factor in this, and we talked about this slightly in the other one. Just we're in the like you Siri, we're in the manner of society right now where legitimately I don't think the average person could navigate via the stars. And I'm not saying I'm a master navigator by any means, because I'm fucking not. But I can get myself out of a fucking corn maze if needed. I'm familiar with mile markers. I still do it to this day when I drive, and that's more of, again, I not necessarily prepare for the worst, but I keep noted of what mile marker I just passed, just in case anything happens, in case I get flat or I roll or whatever. I can say, hey, I'm heading eastbound 95. I passed mile marker 347. We haven't hit 348 yet. And I can give the most detailed description. I may not be able to tell you what fucking license plate just hit me, but I can tell you where I'm at and mile marker and all that, and you're going to come find my ass. But
Yes,
I don't think I don't have enough faith in society.
I do think a lot of the
American society.
small town people who like growing up lived in a very small town, not as small as yours, but we were surrounded by
My
gravel
village.
road, back roads, stuff like that. Yeah, your village, and that's what we would drive around those and shit. We were drinking everything else at a young age,
No.
and we figured out many different routes of how to get around everything,
Drinking
how to
water.
avoid how to how to avoid certain people with lights on top of their car and get around all that stuff. But we navigated those very well, even with our lights off, trying to get around
Yeah.
stuff. But the small town not backwoods, but like back road people who know how to navigate that stuff, we'll have a little more of an advantage to get through that stuff. But eventually, you're going to have to hit a main road because you're going to get to a point where you're going to run through the typical horror movie side. Oh, let's take this way. That's not the right way to go. So you're going to have to hit a main road at some point just to get, because you will hit water source of some kind that you'll have to cross, a river of some kind, which more likely is going to be, and there are back road bridges, but you're eventually going to have to hit a main road to get somewhere. And
That is such a nice thing though, is there's very few rivers. I can't even think of them right now. There are very few rivers I would have to legitimately cross on a main road because they still have bridges that used to be railroads and
yeah,
decommissioned. Again, I'm no longer going to be even on a dirt road or an unmarked dirt road. I'm going to be fucking on just soil and grass and maybe
yes,
somebody's crops. Who knows? And I can cross the bridge there and I can pick back up. But I know we have so many of those here, especially along the Missouri Kansas border and the Kansas Nebraska and Kansas Oklahoma border. We have so many other just ran down, decrepit concrete bridges that you can drive across. You just have to make sure you don't get stuck in the train tracks.
yeah. So I mean, back roads are a good idea, but again, I still think you're going to have to hit a main road at some point to get somewhere. But if you're out far enough or get through far enough, you may be able to avoid quite a bit of that, getting around it. And I'm not looking to avoid, like, the lockdown, shutdown, stuff like that. It's just trying to get to a point of where you're trying to go and find a point to hold up
Yep.
for a while.
But with you holding up to begin with, though, I think you're going to run into a lockdown before you're able to even leave. Like, seriously, like, even if it's your state, my state, whatever state you're in, if it originates there, they are going to lock that state down. They are going to have fences and walls and concrete slabs up well before you could even shit in the wind. Like, you're done if you wait longer than 3 to 5 days.
Yeah, and I'm going off art of where I'm at. I don't have a very strong military presence. We do have National Guard. That's about what we have. We don't have
Yeah,
active duty bases like you have around where you're at. So I know I've got a little more time as far as
but you're also only
when to shut down.
4 hours away from me, which means you're only 4 hours away from Big Red One. You're only 3 hours away from Leavenworth, and you have Missouri, you have Nebraska.
Yeah,
All you may have like a couple extra days, but I think by the
they're
end
going
of
to
the week you're
mobilize.
fucked.
They're going to mobilize strictly in their state, though. They're not going to. They're not going to branch out.
Oh, they would. I see them branching out so quickly
Oh,
because
there's no
why
way,
not?
because they're gonna want to protect the state alone. They're not going to worry about other states. It's gonna be left alone to the governor, senator, all that shit there to handle their own. And Iowa's going to be, well, can we have some help because we don't have anything but National Guard. Now, granted, National Guard is basically set for that, but this is all your people who are at home and know damn well they're not going to report in for that. They're going to, no, I'm not coming in. I'm good. Thank you. I'm going to stick here with my shit and take care of what I have. That's not going to happen.
No, but see that right there, that would for you because if in this scenario it would not work for me because the way I look. It would work for you the way you look. If that were to happen, you could easily escape just by driving. If your base is south, drive south, whatever, and you could literally be like, "Oh, you get pulled over. Oh, I'm on my way. I'm trying to get to my base. I'm going to duty," and literally just toss your military garment bag in the back. Like, look,
Mhm.
I'm fucking reporting for duty. I can't do that. I go, hey, I'm reporting for duty. They're gonna go, beards aren't approved for white guys yet, and your hair is way too long. But like,
Put a hat on at that point, they wouldn't even know the difference.
yes,
You're on a shaving profile.
very long shaving profile. Don't worry, it's okay. It's more than an inch long.
See, but at that point, who's stopping you? The police? They have no idea. No, okay, I take that. There were quite a few that served.
In
Quite a
my
few that served.
in my area, there are several who have served, and that's what a lot of veterans tend to go to especially here in Kansas, is they revert back to law enforcement because structure is similar. Probably not
Now
as
isn't
toxic,
there
but similar.
now there's not a Ranger bat anywhere near Midwest I can think of, or special forces training sites anywhere there, so you could pass for that either. But I mean, you could tell somebody you're reporting for duty at some point. They're like, "Oh, okay." Especially if they saw if you have shit you doesn't even fit you anymore, just throw in the back. Oh yeah,
It
there's my
fits me.
stuff. And shit, mine doesn't.
Mine does. I make sure I can still fit in them. I mean, most of them. I do have my tailored ones that they don't fit anymore.
No, my greens don't fit. No fucking way in hell.
No,
Mm-mm.
my blues still fit. Yeah,
No, I didn't. I never. I wasn't fancy enough to get the blues. I got out before we got blues.
I
I
got
got them
issued.
old
Got issued.
dusty greens.
Got issued blues. So we haven't changed our shit in years. What are you talking about?
Shit. Now before I got, we were getting the blue pants, black jacket, which I think it's changed again already, but
You don't look like a bus driver. That's all that matters.
that's true.
Look at that. I could just put my uniform on and say I'm a bus driver for the military. I'm just reporting to a bus station.
I mean,
Done.
if you could put your uniform on and drive around, like, who are they going to accuse you of stolen valor at that point? Like, no, sir, you need to get out of your car.
You wait one moment. I have a PDF. DD214. Fuck you.
This shit right here.
Or just pull out my driver's license. It says veteran. Oh shit.
See it? Got it.
Got nothing for you, coppers. Have a good day.
I think if you make it to the point to where you're out and about moving around and you're not locked down, you're not quarantined, and you find a spot to go to, are you looking for more of a fortified higher position? Like,
I'm going full Star Wars. I'll have the higher ground at all times.
are you going like obviously you can't go mountainside in Midwest unless you made out to Colorado or something like that, but
I can go to the highest point out west, Mount Sunflower. Okay, it's like kind of high.
getting the fuck out of Iowa because there's no high points in Iowa. You have hills. Now, granted, if I find a good enough hill, I can see anything coming from the gigantic flatlands that are around and cornfields and everything else. But I'm just hoping this is after harvest so I can see what's in the cornfields. Because if I see a bunch of shit moving in the cornfields, I have no idea what it is. But again, going off what I have, I'm stuck to bludgeon weapons, machete, and a handgun. And again, you have a handgun, that's a limited stock of ammo in the first place.
Well, the machete also is like you have to hit with enough force slash velocity to snap the spinal cord if you're going for the head.
And if it doesn't get stuck in the head.
Yeah, and so I mean, depending upon how old or what stage the zombie's in and how decrepit the structural system is of their bones, like if they're a fresh turn, that's gonna be a hard fucking hit. I mean, granted, there's definitely people who could take one swing, but you better hope, pray God, your machete is sharp as shit.
Yes.
And you are fast as fuck, boy, because that's gonna be the only way you're getting that.
Oh no, I'm going strictly for legs at that point, so you can't chase me anymore. That's all I'm trying to hit. Right behind the knees. That's what I'll hit. And this is all hopeful thinking of when I swing, I don't fucking miss, throw out my back, and the fucker falls on me and eats me. Well, at that point, he's gonna think I'm a zombie at that point, like, oh, he's one of us. Leave him alone.
Baby, I threw my back out. I'm going down.
Just keep acting it. They believe you. They're leaving you alone. They're going the other way. No, really, come help me. Fuck you. Just stay there. You're good.
5 more minutes. You're fine. Yeah.
I can't breathe. Damn it.
Need my inhaler. Can you toss me that? Toss me my inhaler. Babe.
I'll be damned if I'm getting eaten. Fuck that. No, I will. Nope. I'm not gonna lay there and scream and kick it. Nope. I'll bite back. I'm going out, scratching, pulling, grabbing, biting anything I can. I have a mouthful of fucking zombie nuts. I don't care. I'm not going out like that. You're not ripping me apart, and I'm not getting anything, fuckers. No chance in hell. It's not fucking happening. And don't think if I walk by a cat, something like that, I'm not tossing that fucker for bait.
Oh, I would toss. I would toss literally any animal, and even like,
I'd have a hard time with a dog. I'm not gonna lie.
oh man, I would have a problem.
I'd toss a cat in a second.
Like, I love animals. I'm very much like rescue before you buy, shelter before you buy. Like, I'm all for animals, raise up with them. That's fine. But I'm also very pragmatic in my head, going, if it's me, this human, or this dog, or this cat, or this rabbit, or it's that fucker's getting yeeted 3 ways through Sunday. And especially if it's like a little chihuahua, I'm footballing that thing. I'm like quarterbacking Tom Brady, go along. I will throw that chihuahua, that ankle bite or whatever. It's going straight for the zombie. And
Nope, I have a chihuahua.
I may even take a selfie with it.
I,
Be like,
I have a
hey,
chihuahua. I couldn't toss his ass.
I'd punt it.
I couldn't throw. And it's funny. His name's Taco. I couldn't.
Well,
I couldn't
zombies,
throw it there.
it better be
Nope.
Taco Tuesday because that's where he's going.
I couldn't throw his little ass. Now, granted,
I'm not saying my animals, no, not my animals.
no, I couldn't throw him.
Anybody else's. Hell, anybody that's not me. I could wholeheartedly live because it's just another notch on the long mental issues that I already have. It's just another notch, whatever. I'm going. And hell, if I'm escaping, you can bet your sweet ass, I'm probably going to be changing some of the road signs. Yeah, I may have some spray paint. I may just full on like knock the sign over, hit it with my car, because the back roads there ain't taken care of, so I could just like barely tap the fucker. It's going down. Like,
Yeah.
it's very much a me against the world, and I don't give a shit. It's me protecting my family out there. And while if I can help others without risking my family's life and putting it in jeopardy, I will. Not against that. I believe that's what you should do. But again, if I see, a mom and dad and a kid, and one of them has a scratch, just saying,
Hi.
good luck.
You're on your own.
You can either leave them behind, but realistically, if they have a scratch, you probably have a scratch too somewhere. Or you probably
You're gonna
kissed
get
them.
one soon.
So, deuces, I'm out.
Yeah. No.
But
Nope.
I would be full on just getting out. I would. I'm not. It sounds like I'd be very like sadistic and evil about it, but it literally would come down to it's me versus the world. It's you versus the world. I think realistically though, and we kind of talked about it on the original episode, is while I would never seek out for like a communities type structure, if it just so happened, like if it just started, I would seek out like I'd be driving somewhere nearby. I'd be going to somebody I know or trying to like hook up there so where it's a pit stop. And be like, hey, look, we're just resting, recouping, and I'm gonna get all the other shit I need. I'm bouncing the fuck out. And basically, as long as that state's not in a lockdown of any type, it's more of a pit stop of security type where I know we're safe here. We're not gonna be reported. We're not gonna be deported. We're good. Being out. Gotta get
Yeah,
to the cruise ship.
I know we had talked about like you fortify at some point and you have a 5 mile radius. I think is what we had talked about of
Yep.
within five
Minimum.
miles. You do not come within that 5 miles. You have your 5 miles. You stay over there.
Yep.
If shit goes down, we can alert in some way. But
Yep.
I'm not going to risk my life to save your life.
Yeah.
I'll check on you if I can't get that or do that. Then you're on your own type thing.
It'd be like a low frequency cast broadcast style radio of, hey, I'm still alive, check in. Oh yeah, you're still alive too. Okay, cool. Check in with you tomorrow morning. Like,
Yeah.
Like, I'm not gonna actively go over there unless all of a sudden there's like a missed check in. But even then, it'd be like I'm
I'm
gonna
sorry
give
if
you
you.
another hour or two,
Yeah,
and
you miss
then
a check-in. That's on you.
yeah, and at
I
that
know I'm
point,
good.
realistically, I think what I would do is probably still go check in, but not to be like, "Hey, neighbor." More of a gotta
I'm
make sure
busting
he's
in to fuck some shit up.
making sure he's dead or they're dead,
Yeah.
and then I'm gonna ransack it. I'm gonna take what I need,
Mhm.
take what I want, get back to my base camp, done.
Yeah.
And if somebody's still alive, check them out, maybe tie them up to make sure they're not infected or anything, or just finish them off and be like, oh no, they didn't make it.
Oh, they're damn sure not come back with me.
No,
You
it
find
it
your own way. You have your
it,
spot here. You stay here.
it would depend. If it was an adult, you're staying. A teenager, probably staying. But if it's a kid, like under
Mm-hmm.
the age of 13, especially under the age of like 10,
Somebody needs guidance
yeah,
in
it would
some
be
way.
one of those like,
Which I can see that.
I morally I have to take you because I can't sleep with myself knowing that. So that would
Yeah.
be like a dog. Bye bye, Taco, you're gone.
Nope.
But this child would be the one that's like, yeah, let's. Even if he was like he or she was scratched, it'd still be one of those like, I'm gonna,
There's a chance.
yeah, I'm gonna still take you back, but here's the deal. You're
You're
gonna have a
getting locked
special,
down,
yep, you're gonna have a
tied up.
special room. You're gonna be reserved. We'll still feed you. We'll hang out, but there's gonna be a thick fucking wall between you and me.
Hmm.
And it's more of like, do you want to live? You don't understand the complexity of life right now and the morality of death, so I'm making it for you. Um, maybe like, hey, here's some Motrin. Drink how much you want. Here's some Dimetapp. Whatever. Like, it's one of those like more of the limit things, and that would honestly be the only thing that would give me is a child. And we've talked about this even with like horror movies. Like, I don't watch horror movies because children
Yeah.
typically are involved. And I don't like that. But children would be the only one. And again, teenagers, maybe. If it's like a brick shit house teenager who's clearly like a lineman, I may be bringing you back to where you can do a lot of the hard work and ease my back. But even
Nope.
then, it's gonna be very much a hey, I need to chain you up, and you're gonna do all the work from this little radius. Okay, cool.
If you're that big, you can survive on your own.
I have stuff I want to do that I don't want to pull my back out on. Free labor.
He's on his own. You're that big, you can do your own shit. You just got your own house, everything else, your own compound. I'm over here.
With nothing in it because I just
You,
ransacked everything.
you stay over there. I'll leave you a can of beans and a 9 mil.
I would not leave I would not leave a weapon like that anytime. No, I may leave you like a pocket knife. I may leave you a machete. I may leave you like a close range uh, weapon that requires more strength on your part than an automatic or caliber style weapon where all they have to do is pull the trigger and the fatality rate instantly goes up to almost 100%. Bow and
Yeah,
arrow, you gotta be very specific where you shoot with that. Otherwise, just a flesh wound.
yeah, but I don't know. Giving them a chance of survival is probably where I would be at. Of okay, you're a big boy, you can handle your shit. You keep whatever firearm you have. You come anywhere near where I'm at with that firearm, you get the forever sleep, and then I don't worry about you anymore.
I see you while I am out on my patrol. You're on my land. You've been warned.
Yep,
You're gonna
and that's
meet.
what it is.
You're gonna meet mommy and daddy real soon.
Yep, you learn it very quick.
But yeah, we did talk about that, and like, other than the neighbors is really what would be at the 5 mile radius, even like an actual community style where I'm living with multiple people inside of a compound. That no, for the most part, no. even with like family, no. I trust, and by family I mean not my wife and kids, like my parents, my sister, my brother,
Mm.
cousin, in-laws, all that. Um, no, but it also really depends on like what do they have to bring, how useful are they to me, and is this a long term or short term? Because there's so many factors that come into play. Is if it's a short term, just like through the winter season, okay, fine. You can help me chop wood. You can help me gather to keep the fire going. You can help hunt. Um, but even then, it would be very much a strict ruling of my compound. I have final say. You do not. You are simply here. This is my base, my hold up. Shut your mouth, know your role type thing. Um, and I would take myself and my immediate family would take precedence over anyone else in that type of situation. Now, if somebody's sick, of course, sure,
Yeah.
help you out. But if it's like, hey, we have one penicillin shot, my kid is sick, and somebody else is also sick and needs a shot, who you give it to? Give it to my kid.
Yeah.
You may be a little bit more useful to me right now, longevity wise. You were gonna leave one way or another, so had a good run on this earth. Good job. Time to go meet great grandma.
But I think it's like compound wise or community wise or colony or whatever you want to call it.
Yep.
I would avoid colony for a very long time. I would be a compound style, keep it very small. And then if, once things started to calm down or whatnot, then colonize, but I'd still be very skeptical on any type of colony just because of how people would be.
But the place you're at, would that be your forever place? Like I'm not moving from this because your resources would dwindle, animals
Yeah.
would stop coming around, your food supply would be
It
gone.
would be it would be until we had to move type thing. It would be
But
fortified, compounded, and then until we had to move.
but at that point, where's your next like what direction are you heading? To the west coast? Are you heading to the east coast? Are you trying to go south?
See, I don't want anything to do with East or West Coast.
That leaves
It's
you
too
with
it's too
north,
populated.
gonna be tundra. That's Canada.
No, I would head south. I wouldn't go north. The
So
less the less snow I had to deal with, the better. Because I don't want to have to worry about a lot of that shit.
I'm
South is the way that I would move.
there's part of me that, like I said, went on Tuesday. There's part of me that I would be fine with the snow because not only is it slow down, but it's easier to warm up than it is to get cool when you're hot. Like you can only get so naked.
Yeah,
Whereas like you pop a fire on when you're naked and it's hot outside, you're still gonna be hot and naked.
yeah,
If
you
it's
can't.
cold, I can cuddle with somebody, anybody. I can have a fire going. Like I have ways to get warm. Being cool is very, very limited. It limits your. I mean, both have mobility issues. You can't go out at night if it's cold. You travel during night if it's hot. It's all about like basically when you want to move the most and how do the zombies react. Uh, Daytime versus nighttime, heat versus cold. Like there's a lot of factors put into place
You lose your
that would
ability to
drastic.
grow certain foods also.
Potatoes grow everywhere.
True, but you run into no. I mean,
But you have that with the heat too. Either way, you get too
yeah.
hot, you get to a deserty area. Shit's not growing in the desert other than cactus and
Mhm.
maybe a
So
potato.
no.
I don't have ever seen a potato grow in the desert.
So we're moving. I'm going south more than anything. I'm not going north. I want to avoid cold.
Yeah,
I will. There's ways to stay cooler. Stay without dehydrating and stuff like that. And I understand that water sources and stuff like that too.
again,
But
snow
freezing
can
is not something
melt,
I want to deal with.
become water, so you
Yes,
have
but trying to
ample.
stay constantly warm. is something I don't want to deal with.
I like the cold.
You can adapt to heat better than you can to cold. The way I've always done it.
I'm the exact opposite. I can adapt so quick to cold. Heat, I'm
Fuck that. I
ah,
hate cold.
I gotta take my pants off. I gotta go shopping. This is uncomfortable. I'm
Nope.
staying at home. Whereas like it's -5, I'll still be the one that's like, I'm gonna
Fuck
go out and
that.
go get ice cream. You want ice cream? Okay, let's go get ice cream. It gets
I
above
like.
like 95. I'm just like, fuck this. Staying home. We're not going anywhere.
I can't stand being cold. I hate it so much.
Right upon it.
Nope. No way. No way.
You'll see me be smoking a lot more meats because it's gonna be the fall weather's kicking in and it's getting a lot colder. So I can go out there and be like, my nice little radiator is just going off right now. Yeah. Got my fire pit going. Just avoiding these walnuts that still fall in and the squirrels. But that's like whether or not you do a fortified home
Mhm.
slash forever home would like anybody who says they would stay in one area permanently is asininely stupid because it's not practical. Your food and water resources will dwindle and go away. Food
It
definitely
depends. I
will go
mean,
away.
if you're Midwest style, depending on how you do it, if you know what you're doing, you can stay for. I mean, you can
You
grow enough to survive.
as long as the weather is permitting. That's the
Yeah.
problem though, is like with how Kansas is, like I think it was last year, granted sorghum is not a very popular crop that people need or want, but it's in a lot of stuff you don't realize.
Yeah.
Sorghum got pushed back by a couple weeks, which fucked up all the other crops because the weather just was not permitting. It was not proper. We didn't have enough moisture in the ground to till it up without just wasting a bunch of water on irrigation systems. So wheat got pushed back, corn got pushed back, everything just got pushed back epically because of that, and it fucked up the whole supply here. Now you're talking about small scale though,
Mhm.
it's more feasible, but you also have to have that knowledge of what does wheat look like when it's done, what does corn look like when it's done. Do you have sweet corn? Do you have popcorn? Do you have regular corn? Like what type of corn do you have? Is it meant for eating boiled slash cooked, or do you have to pop it like popcorn? And that's the only way it's feasibly eaten. Like there's a lot of
I'm not
basic
going
knowledge.
full blown farmer here. I'm talking your basics of tomatoes, peppers, shit like that. I'm talking just basic garden stuff. I'm not talking full blown cornfield,
But
soybeans, all that shit.
tomatoes and peppers will only get you so far because those don't have much protein, if any, in them, and you're going to be needing protein. And again, if you're hunting,
Mhm.
even if it's you're hunting the remaining cattle that's roaming around, it's going to dwindle because just like if you hunt in the same deer spot every year, you hunt from the same deer stand, you're leaving markers everywhere, and animals are not stupid, and let alone like fucking crows slash ravens, they work with other animals. The animal system just breaks down so quickly because you start picking them off so much so quickly because that's what you're going to rely on. Rely on deer. Okay, well, for three, like maybe 2 months, I think you'll probably be good. And that's if you're hunting once a week and you're actually getting something. But you hunt any heavier than that, it's going to be, they're going to go, nope, don't go here. This is a kill zone. Bad place. Go elsewhere.
I mean, and
So,
you have, your area is going to be big enough to where you could bounce around and push everything certain directions. But I
yeah.
do see the point of, yeah, things can dwindle out and stuff like that.
And that's not even involving like you come in my area, I don't know you're there. You fuck up my
Yeah.
whole ecosystem. That's like so to say you can stay in one place it's being practical. It's not. You would have to move at some point or set up a
It's,
massive parameter.
yeah, at some point you would probably have to move, or
That
figure out a way
community,
to improve the sustainability of lifestyle. But
I think community would be in a way where it's like a 5 mile
yeah,
radius of hey, you have those 5 miles, I have my
yeah,
5 miles, Jim has his, Kathy has hers, like, and you all work together collectively. So where you can say, hey, we have intruders coming down Kathy's southern acres. Okay, well now we know what's going on, Now we can keep an eye on it, but without those other people, though, you couldn't feasibly stay in one location indefinitely or even fairly long. You're going to be moving easily every year at minimum or at most. Sorry.
It could be around that time, yeah. But I think trying to move it that much that often could get tough too. So, but I mean, it just depends on population wise, everything as well.
But yeah, I mean, if you're moving, even let's say you're moving every year, you're having to pack up everything. You're having to pack very light, and are your um, structures? Are you taking those with you? Are they collapsible or are they permanent fixtures? Like, there's a lot of unknown variables yet controllables because maybe you raided a camping store, Bass Pro Shop. You have good tents and you kind of just fortified around the tent. Okay, cool. You can stay there a
Yeah,
little bit, but it it would just
but
come to a point
also,
of like movements inevitable unless you have a community structure.
but moving at that point too is will not be easy because you will have to pack extremely light because gas will become very limited. Trying to move in a car is not going to become
Be non-existent.
a thing at a point. Is where you have to have horse and buggy at a certain point. And you have to know how to be able to sustain another living
Uh,
animal at that point.
you have to know how to break that horse in, get the horse to tolerate it, and get the horse trained. Like it can't just take a Mustang that you find off of I-95 and freaking say, "Hey,
Yeah,
you're pulling this now."
and it's only going to last for so long before you have to have another one as well.
Yep. Because either it's gonna break, I don't want to say break down, but the maintenance on the horses is crazy. My parents have several, so just the feeding alone is crazy, and taking care
Yes.
of them properly so where they can actually like live. Because if you're not taking care of them, now they can't pull the 2 tons or 1 ton wagon of just shit behind them.
Yeah.
You're gonna need something else. So yeah, sled dogs, Kansas.
Bad.
Let people with huskies out here. It's fine. I just I think one way or another without creating a community, we're gonna without creating a community, you're gonna have to move fairly frequently, and unless you can find a true forever home,
Yeah.
you're gonna be kind of screwed. But after that, it's really just a waiting game. But compound community, whatever, that's inevitable. That will become a part of society at that point. Of you can be rogue, try to be the outlander, but eventually, in order to stay living, have to join somewhere somehow, and that's a whole different shit show of how do they have their government basically set up, how does it operate, how does it ran, all that stuff. So
Yeah.
there's a lot to it, but I think for like an outbreak, I would book it. Like I say, I would be out of here fairly quick, sticking to mostly usable type weaponry, crossbows. Still have a handgun and a shotgun because sometimes that just works better, and sometimes it works
Yeah.
better on real people.
And I agree.
But
But I think without having a 5 hour long podcast trying to go into depth and everything, I think we covered quite a bit of it.
yeah, we can
The
always
basics.
maybe we'll just do a whole month of zombie outbreaks. Who knows? It's feasible. There's a lot to go into it.
Yeah.
We'll do a whole fucking D&D style campaign of it, but there's a lot, and it like we said basically the beginning is it's foolish thinking to basically say you're not willing to do the deed that needs to be done regardless of who it harms or what it harms if it means your survival. That's why kind of there was that announcement. There may be something talked about that you don't like Sig sacrificing a dog, like Taco Tuesday, everyone. But um, it'd be so interesting. I just think longevity wise, we saw what's happened the last 3 years,
Yeah.
and if a zombie outbreak were to happen, I honestly think at this point it would take a while for anybody to truly believe a zombie outbreak would happen. Because again, you would have all those TikTokers who are like, "Come check out this new exhibit at the zoo. Look what I just found on the side of the road. I think it's a decomposing body. Let's touch it." Like, it would be just asinine, and that would be the way people find out. Oh my god,
Yeah.
Becky just got her face eaten off. That was so cool. Somebody else gets it. Oh, this isn't a one-off incident. Okay, maybe this isn't just a filter anymore. But I think it would take a while. I really do. I think that's why you could almost like believe at any time too.
True.
Part of me is like, no one's gonna fucking believe it. And by the time it is believed, you would have to think someone up higher up would know and not take care of it, but basically lock down. So a lot to it though.
Only time will tell.
Unfortunately, we're going there. Hopefully in my lifetime, before I get 90. I won't be able to like have fun during the zombie apocalypse if it's gonna happen. Other than that, we'd be dead.
Exactly.
Just saying.
True.
At least let reincarnation be real, then I'll come back and enjoy it one way or another. But let us know what you think. Like, what's your ideal zombie apocalypse? Give us your, what do you say, loadout. Let's go with that.
Mm-hmm.
How soon would you leave and be prepped up to leave? Are you going to be like myself, Sig, who's going to try to leave as quickly as possible, as immediate as feasible? Or are you going to be more like Rahgel and you're going to wait it out a little bit to let the inevitable chaos and mass hysteria die down a bit and clear itself out? Weaponry, loadout, all that type of stuff. And yeah, anything else? Are you sticking with a community? Are you going solo? Are you going full on purge first or staying true? Let us all know. Literally, you can comment on anything or hit us up on social media as well. Just, make sure you use hashtag 2guys1gamepad and we'll see it. It'd be interesting to see any of those. So other than that, Rahgel, we're done with October, your failed month.
See how it goes for next month.
I got plans for next month. Plans. We'll see if any of them work. Audio issues.
We'll hope so.
So pissed. So pissed. Neither here nor there. Well, it's the end of October, everyone. Really hope you enjoyed the Halloween themed month. And don't forget to go follow us, check us out on all social media at 2guys1gamepad. Check out the videos over on YouTube as well. And that's really all we got for you this week. Hope you enjoy. Subscribe to the podcast wherever you watch it, and we'll see you on the next one. Here's Rahgel to say its famous line.
Bye, bitch.